anything else about like the day stuff that you've you know, seen or impressions that stuck with you from day one at EA Play?
Please give out the Wi-Fi password faster.
Right, yeah, we need a Wi-Fi password. Come on, hook us up. Hello everyone, this is Anwar from BFNations, and with me I have Crafter, President Slendy. We're almost finishing up day one right now of EA Play, and it's been an interesting day. Initial reactions to the trailer?
Way better than the reveal trailer that was shown like 2 weeks ago during the official reveal, and it was much more Battlefield-like than the previous one.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, classic Battlefield trailer, a lot better than the reveal trailer. It's what one should expect, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything in this trailer that really stood out for you in terms of new types of content or a new type of experience in the game?
And they showed the new mechanics, and it was like interesting to see them actually in action, because again, referring to the initial trailer, this one didn't really like show them in any way. It was too chaotic to notice anything, and this time we actually got to see those.
We haven't really seen a breakdown of the trailer yet, but like from what I personally can tell from the trailer so far is that yeah, the game looks stunning as usual, and it looks like a truly awesome Battlefield experience in general, and it makes you hyped to play it, basically.
I thought it was a solid trailer, and the reveal overall I think was pretty good. The press conference. What else? Anything else on that we're missing out on?
Battle Royale.
Well, Battle Royale, obviously, that's the next topic.
Yeah.
That got a mixed response by the audience.
Yeah, like
some people were
during
cheering.
the conference, like people were confused. They didn't know how to respond.
Why do you think that is?
Because Battlefield is not a game that you would expect such a game mode.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a trend at the moment, you know, to develop something that is Battle Royale. To be fair, they didn't say Battle Royale, they said Royale. Yeah. And they're saying that this is their take on it. You know? Like it's a customized Battlefield experience fit to sort of display Battle Royale, but at the same time like a typical Battlefield experience with vehicles, destruction and team play.
Yeah, I wonder how vehicles are going to play into that. That's actually interesting now that you say it.
Very interesting, yeah.
So what are your personal takes on that? I know, Crafter, you play a few Battle Royale games. So.
I think it's quite interesting to see in Battlefield, because like players didn't expect it, and also like now, how do they react? Will they start playing Battle Royale only? Because players with the Battle Royale games will actually come over to Battlefield. What will happen to the other game modes that we have in the game? Will those be popular? Will they not? Like, what will actually happen with the player base?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, I think the player base is going to be split, at least in the beginning. Some people may buy the game for Battle Royale specifically, and some people may just buy it for Battlefield, you know, just because they're Battlefield fans. In the end, though, I think people will play the game modes they prefer, just like any other game. I don't think it's going to like hurt the game in the long run, but maybe.
So you don't think it can split the player base? And
I definitely think it is going to split the player base, but in the long run, I think it's going to be fine. Yeah, because new modes have been established before, and some people play them and play them a lot more than others, and some people don't play them at all. And it still works. So.
To me, this edition of the game is going to be about live services. They keep repeating that, right? They're like, yeah, we're releasing this stuff now, but it's going to change over time.
One new thing per day.
Is that what they said?
They said that.
They say one new thing per day. Okay, cool. Yeah, in that regard, it interests me. Obviously, or I don't know if it's obvious really, but apparently, or from what I take from what they did in the reveal, it's not going to be in the game from the beginning, the Battle Royale game mode, but rather something that's introduced later on in the game. They could use that as a potential kind of vitamin injection. When you start seeing the player base dropping, that could be a kind of nice addition to just kind of get the interest back up. Perhaps instead of releasing a DLC or something like that.
The problem with this though is that currently this is a trend. right? Like, and what if that trend goes away? And they've been developing that for months, and then they release it, but people aren't really that into battle royale anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
But at the same time, I don't know. They must have factored that in, the fact that they have this expire date, potential expire date. I mean, you've seen a lot of like player base get lost from PUBG, right? Moving away maybe to Fortnite, and who knows what's next. But maybe, as you were about to say, they're gonna apply their own formula to it as well, I think. That's gonna make it a bit different. I mean, I've always been pushing for a squad-based, very, very squad-focused battle royale mode from Battlefield, since they've really nailed the squad-based formula, you know, with different classes that can help each other out. What do you think? Is that maybe something they'll go for?
Yeah, I mean, by the fact that they're also introducing 4-man squads with the new mechanics as well, it's going to be very competitive actually in terms of the gameplay itself. And trend-wise, yeah, it may succeed, it may not, but it definitely has potential.
But now comes the question: what happens to the incursions that were tested in Battlefield 1, and they were supposed to be introduced? I mean, we as a player base expected those to be introduced to Battlefield 5. What happens to those? Because we've got standard vanilla experience, we got battle royale experience, then we got competitive experience. Unless the competitive will actually be the battle royale game mode, which could also be the case.
Yeah, but that is very weird, because in that case they would have to scrap the whole incursions project that they've been working on for over a year.
Yeah, I doubt that's the case. I think we're gonna hear more potentially about the competitive side of Battlefield 5 in the weeks or month ahead. We'll see. We'll try to get you guys some information on that as well while we're here. But I was about to ask, Crafter, you've been playing a bit of kind of battle royale games. What is it that you think that Battlefield needs to get right in order to really kind of succeed on this?
Gameplay and map design, like that's it. That's the core of battle royale games. Like, look at PUBG. We've had one map for like a year after the game was, well, not even released, but still, players wanted to play the same map over and over because it offered something different. You had different circles, different zones, different endings, and everything was just unique in every single round.
I'm presuming in a way that there will be a squad focus there. Maybe that's too early to say really, but it would make sense considering it's Battlefield. How do you think of squad-based gameplay in a battle royale game? Do you generally play within a squad yourself or more solo?
I mean, I generally play with the squad, and I think that Battlefield would actually fit into this. It's just that they could even go a step further and improve all of this with all of the new mechanics, like reviving. We have this in PUBG actually, so maybe that's why they introduced it. And all of the other things, such as resupplying. Maybe one person will be able to like collect or just loot some ammo bag and then resupply everyone in the team. Like, that would be interesting to see.
Battlefield is, in my opinion, supposed to promote team play, and Battle Royale is a way to do that properly, I would say. So I mean, obviously we haven't played it, even seen it yet, but again, it still has to, like, the concept has potential.
We didn't mention the fact that we played a game.
Yeah.
We played a game, Battlefield 5. We played it. Yeah, initial impressions on that. We can just go around so far, really.
TBE, the best ever compared to the previous games, and really, I'm not like joking at this point. Gunplay got improved, movement got improved, shooting, like all of the mechanics, like spread, recoil, all of this got changed so much. It's not even about the gunplay, because gunplay, like the feeling of shooting, is also totally different. And all of this combined with the new mechanics, it's just something like we've never played it before. Like, it was never shown to us.
Yeah, I mean, again, the mechanics. It's actually really great to have a game that has mechanics that are so fluid. Everything just felt right.
Yeah.
There was nothing that frustrated me except for the mouse sensitivity, but that I put it to 1% in the game.
When you're at home, it's gonna be better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, apart from those settings, there was actually nothing that disappointed me about it.
Yeah, no, I feel the same. I think just the fact that they've been focusing so much now on like core mechanics, the gunplay in the game, and really liked what Daniel Berlin said there. He dwelled really deep into that and talked about really specific details within the game, such as the locomotion, the small things. We never really tried out, I think, to throw back a grenade at someone or even drag a buddy, so that's going to be cool to check out in the future. But just these smaller details, the snappiness, the speed, and of course yeah, exactly, the gunplay and the removal of the random bullet spread. I think that's a really big deal, and I could really feel that while playing the game, that it was just much more responsive in the way that I feel that most good competitive games are, and that's why I'm feeling really encouraged in the sense that yeah, it's more snappy. I think it's going to be more fun to play competitively than BF1 was. And probably better for the viewers as well, since there seems to be a larger skill gap as well. So.
Right. So basically, now we have a Battlefield game that is actually from the beginning suited for competitive play, in terms of the mechanics themselves.
Yeah. That's really cool and really encouraging. What else about the game? Did anyone notice the weather? Like how weather really affected the game? Like I'd run into choke points where there was just thick smoke and it was really hard to see through it, and that actually created cover in a lot of situations as well.
There was a snowstorm,
right?
It was kind of chaotic to be honest. But I mean it's cool. It's cool. As long as it's not like constant. Like no. Imagine like a 45-minute match and you just see snow for the whole time.
Did any of you guys try any vehicles or planes?
I've tried planes. It was quite different from Battlefield 1, but it felt different. Like the whole steering, it wasn't harder or easier. It was just different.
I mean, I jumped into a transport vehicle, a ground vehicle. I sat on the machine gun. I could only see the base, so I bailed out. But actually, I believe I took some damage when I bailed out. And there was like an actual animation, like my character was like rolling on the ground when I jumped out. Yeah. So that's something I noticed. Like there's a lot more animations when you do like certain movements now. Yeah. Even when you pick things up, there's an actual animation now, instead of it just magically appearing into your hands.
Yeah. I remember poaching some ammo and stuff from fallen enemies. Yeah, that was good. That felt good. Like nice interaction there. I talked to the community over at BFNations at Discord during the reveal as well, to hear what they had to say while watching it on the live stream back home. And there were a lot of questions on how the game felt in terms of those core mechanics. For example, can you slide spam? Do you want to?
I'm not a guy to abuse that, so I didn't actually test that.
No, I am a guy to abuse that, so I tested it, and it's the slide itself is very, very short and very fast. So I don't think it's going to be of huge benefit in competitive games, really, which I think is good. So
I've actually tested it a lot, and you can slide, you can move. There is no penalty for like changing direction of shooting while actually sliding, like there is in Battlefield 1, but the accuracy while sliding is like you can't really hit anything during the slide, and also you can't spam it because you're just stuck if you try doing it again after you finish the first slide. So you can't slide spam in Battlefield 5.
And we were able to shoot while jumping as well, or?
I could shoot while jumping out of a window, I believe.
Yeah, that's the same experience I had, I think, where,
the accuracy of those shots, again, it's, you can't really hit anything.
As it should be, right?
So it's a proper way.
Yeah. Any other impressions or things you'd like to bring up from the takeaway?
I was actually amazed by the environment and how they made this server-side objects. Can't really, I don't know how the proper name for it, but I had a situation where I blew up the tank and the parts of it were literally like flying into different directions. It's something we've never seen in Battlefield before.
So you got a tank kill in the game?
Yeah. I detonated it with the dynamite or something that went kaboom. Not sure what it was, but all of those parts were actually on the ground and they were interacting with other things on the map. Like before, we just had a wrecked tank after blowing it up, and that's it.
It was cool. It was nice to play Battlefield 5. It's really cool that you could just like line up and just go for it. Nice presentation as well. Cool trailer. It was a solid day, I would say.
So one word to sum up just the anticipation then for Battlefield 5, like how you feel about it in general.
It's great.
Yeah,
It's great.
Gunplay.
Gunplay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go with gunplay as well. The gunplay felt really solid. I think that kind of wraps up day one over at EA Play for Battlefield Nations, or BFNations. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We will be... What are we doing tomorrow? We'll be capturing some gameplay, so hopefully putting together some guides of the game and some interesting YouTube content for you guys. So, see you then.
Yeah, see ya.
Hello.